Hello, my name is Jessica, and today we're going to do a yin practice designed to regulate the chakra system all the way from root to crown. For your practice today, you might like to have a couple of blocks handy, a bolster, and a blanket. We'll get started today in child's pose. Nestle your big toes together. Your knees can be together or they can be wide to the edges of the mat. And allow your hips to come down towards your heels. Begin to walk your hands forward. Bring your forehead down to rest on the mat. Relax through your shoulders and your arms, your hands. If the forehead doesn't come all the way down to the mat, you can place a block or maybe a folded blanket underneath the forehead instead. Let's take a few moments here to arrive to your practice, arrive to your mat. Notice where your body is making contact with the mat, with the earth beneath you. Feeling the support of the earth as it rises up to greet your body. And just allow your body to be heavy as it rests here in child's pose. Let your belly be soft. And bring awareness to your breath. Let's take a few rounds of breath together. Inhale to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. For the next 2 rounds, we'll lengthen the exhale. So again, inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And continue on your own, just like that, keeping your exhales as long or longer than your inhales. Throughout this practice, I invite you to come back to your breath anytime you notice that your mind has wandered. Begin to walk the hands back towards the body, coming into a tabletop position. From here, knees directly underneath the hips, tuck your toes, and take a moment to reach back with your hands. Make sure that all of the toes are tucked under. And then begin to rise up, shoulders over the hips for a yogi toe stretch. Reconnect with your breath. And center the heels just over the ball mounts of the feet. Your hands can rest in your lap, or if you like, you can bring them to blocks, either beside you or in front of you. Keep breathing here, yogis. Keep those breaths even and calm. Take a moment to check in. See if you're gripping or holding anywhere in your body. Maybe your hands or fingers. Maybe you have some tenseness in the shoulders or the neck or maybe the jaw. Just notice if that's happening and actively try to relax. Just breathing through the sensation. We'll take one more full round of breath here. And come forward onto hands and knees into tabletop. Lightly tap out the tops of the feet. And we'll meet in a seat. The next shape we'll take is shoelace. For shoelace, we cross the legs at the thigh. We'll take right leg on top first. To cross the legs tightly, you can walk the feet away from one another, or if it feels better for you, you can come up onto hands and knees to really get those legs close in towards one another before settling back down onto your sits bones. Flex through the toes and take a moment here to check in with the hip of the leg that's on top. So right leg, right hip. If that hip has lifted up off of the mat, take a moment to just settle it back down into the earth. You might even use your hand to help it ease back down there. Good. And take a moment here, still lifted, just noticing how this feels in the body, how this feels in the hips. And as you're ready, you can begin to fold forward, walking the hands forward, bringing the chest down to that top leg, gaze down towards the earth, long neck. Just keep breathing. Feeling that connection of the sits bones and the earth. Breathing through the sensation in the hips. And take a moment here, notice if the sensation has lessened. And if so, take that as an invitation to fold forward a little bit further. And take one more full round of breath here. And slowly rise back up, shoulders over the hips. Lean back into your palms here. Stretch the legs out in front of you. And just take some small movements, bending into the knees, maybe windshield wiper the feet side to side. We'll move on to the other side. Other side of shoelace, left leg on top this time. We'll cross the legs at the thigh, walking the feet away from one another, or you can come up onto hands and knees just to press the inner thighs as tightly together as you can before settling back down. Flex through your toes, and while we're still upright here, check in with the hip of the top leg, so the left hip this time. If it's lifted up off of the mat, maybe even take your thumb into your hip crease and just gently guide it back down towards the earth. Even if that means that the knees are no longer perfectly stacked, that's okay. Taking a moment to check in here, reconnect with your breath. Notice the sensations that are coming up for you. And as you're ready, begin to fold forward. You might fold forward only a little bit to start. Just keep your awareness on your level of sensation here. As you're in the posture, the longer you're here, the sensation might lessen. And if so, you can begin to fold even further into the posture. Take one more deep inhale and full exhale. And begin to walk the hands back towards the body. Shoulders over the hips. Lean back into your palms and stretch the legs long in front of you. Making small movements, getting some blood flow back into the knees and hips. Maybe windshield wiper them side to side. And sit up tall once more. Find your sits bones beneath you. Separate your heels as wide as they will go. Coming into a dragonfly. So the heels are separated as wide as they will go, and toes are flexed back towards the body. If you'd like, you can bring something in front of you to fold forward onto, maybe a bolster or maybe a stack of blocks. Let's take a moment to sit up tall and take a breath in. And as you exhale, again, begin to fold forward here. Gaze down towards the earth. Keep your neck long. Allow your shoulders to relax. And reconnect to the breath. Take a moment to check in with the level of sensation. See if we can fold forward any further. And gently begin to rise back up. Shoulders over hips once more. Bring your heels towards one another, taking any movements with the legs to get the blood flow back in the joints. Then take your bolster onto your mat lengthwise so that the short edge is close to you. Find yourself on one hip. So I'm starting with the left hip here. You can start on the other side if you prefer. And come all the way up so that your top of your thigh and your hip are resting up against the edge of the bolster. If you'd like to take an extra prop in between your top leg and bottom leg, you're welcome to, maybe a folded blanket or another bolster. From here, take one hand to either side of your mat. Take a breath in and grow long through your spine. As you exhale, gently twist the body so that you're facing the bolster, the short edge of your mat. Take another breath in here and exhale. Begin to fold forward into deer. Once you come down, you can either place the left ear onto the bolster, or if it feels okay for your neck, you can place the right ear down. Just allow yourself to sink in. Relax through your shoulders, relax your hands, relax your face. And breathe deeply into your belly here. allowing the breath and the twist to massage your internal organs, help promote healthy digestion. Gently press into your palms to rise back up. We'll switch to the other side. Let's place the right hip down onto the mat. And situate yourself so that the hip, the top of the right thigh, is coming up to make contact with the bolster. Place one hand on either side of the mat and take a breath in, go long through the spine. As you exhale, gently twist the body so that you're facing the bolster and the short edge of the mat. Take another breath in here. And as you exhale, slowly lower yourself down, either bringing the right ear down to the bolster, or again, if it feels okay for your neck, coming all the way around to place the left ear down. Just close the eyes if it feels okay. And again, breathe deeply, just into that area right behind your belly button. As you're ready, press into your palms once more and gently help yourself up. Unwind. And let's windshield wiper the knees side to side. Just lean back into your hands, taking a moment here to reset the low back. As you are ready, come into a tabletop position. Place your bolster off to the side for the time being. And have your blocks ready at the top of the mat, just in case you might want them. From a tabletop position, keep your hips over your knees as you walk your hands forward, coming into melting heart. So hands walk forward and the heart begins to ease down towards the mat. Maybe your forehead comes to the mat, or maybe it comes to a block, or maybe your chin comes down to the mat. If your chin comes down to the mat and you find that you'd like to go a little bit further, you still have some space, you can always take blocks underneath the hands and then come back and begin to ease the chin down once more. Just let the belly be soft. Let the heart space be soft. Imagine reaching the heart down so that it could touch the earth. Let's take another full breath here. And gently slide forward onto your belly, moving the blocks out of the way if you are using them. Setting up for Sphinx pose. Let's take the elbows directly beneath the shoulders with the fingers spread wide, palms pressed down into the earth. Check in with the tops of your feet. Press into them so much that the knees begin to lift up off of the mat. Engage through your glutes and engage through your low belly. And gaze straight forward. As you're ready, begin to pull the earth back towards your body as you press down through your elbows, finding length in the spine as you ease your shoulder blades together behind your back. Your collarbones gently reaching away from one another as your heart shines forward. You can stay here in Sphinx, Or if you have the space in your low back, straighten your arms for seal pose. Keeping the engagement in your legs, your glutes, and the low belly. You can also take your hands wider to the edges of the mat if that feels better. Still growing long through the spine, reaching the crown of the head up, and easing the heart forward. Keep your gaze straight forward. Continue to breathe down into the belly. And take another full round of breath here. And slowly lower all the way down to the belly. Let the legs be soft and find crocodile pose. Bring the elbows to the edges of the mat and stack the hands on top of one another. Bring the forehead down to rest on the back of the top hand. Just pause here. Legs are soft. Heels might fall away from one another. Now bend the knees and windshield wiper the feet slowly from side to side. Come to stillness. Reach the feet long once more. Bring your left hand to frame your chest and reach your right arm directly out from the shoulder with the palm facing down and fingers spread wide. Rest the right side of your face down on the earth or maybe on a block if that feels better. Bend into your left knee and roll up and over onto the right side for starfish. You can step your left foot to the outside of the right leg. And you can stay right here or begin to wrap the back of the left hand around behind the low back for more of a heart opener. Coming back to your breath, just noticing how it feels here as it moves in and out from your chest and your throat. And take one more full round of breath before gently rolling back down to the belly. Take your time. Bring the right hand in to frame the chest. Reach the left arm directly out from the shoulder, palm down, fingers spread wide, and rest the left side of the face down on the mat or maybe onto a block. Bend into your right knee and roll up and over onto the left side. So again, your right foot can step behind your left leg, and you can wrap your right hand around behind your low back. Continue to breathe, trying to keep your breaths even. Just noticing how this feels in your body. Noticing what comes up for you, if anything. And try and stay present with your breath on your mat in this shape. And take one more full round of breath. And slowly unwind, come back to the belly, and press yourself back into a child's pose. Just pause for a moment here. Breathe into the low back. And slowly pull yourself forward. Find your bolster and place it across your mat so that the long edge is facing you. And come to a seat. Good. Nestle your sacrum just up against the edge of the bolster and begin to slowly lower yourself back into a supported fish pose. Allow the crown of your head to rest down on the earth, and just let your arms reach directly out from the shoulders. Your knees can be bent here with the soles of the feet in the earth, either straight up or maybe in constructive rest with the feet wide and the knees nestled together. Or maybe it feels better for you to stretch the legs long. Just find whatever works for your low body and come to stillness. Maybe even close your eyes. Just allow yourself to drape over the bolster, noticing the openness in the front body. Take one more full round of breath here. And slowly begin to roll back up. With the knees bent, just gently fold forward. Send the breath into the low back. Gently rise back up and place the bolster just behind the knees, setting up for Shavasana. Good. Place the bolster just behind the bend in the knees for a little extra support. And gently lower yourself down, all the way down to your back. Begin to bring your awareness back into the physical body. Deepen your breathing. Find small movements with fingers and toes. Maybe circle wrists and ankles. Reach the arms up overhead for a full body stretch. Take a big breath in and sigh it out. Bring the knees up into the chest and give yourself a squeeze, maybe a little rock side to side. And slowly rock over onto either comfortable side. Pause for a moment here in the fetal position. And gently help yourself up to a comfortable seat. When you arrive, root down through your sits bones and reach all the way up through the crown of the head, finding a long spine. And press your palms together at heart center. Thank you for taking time for your practice today. From my heart to yours, namaste.